Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Speak Easy Daily Conversations. I'm Olivia, and I'm really happy that you're here with us again today. If you've been learning with us, you probably already feel that your English is slowly improving, and today's episode will help you take another step forward.
And I'm Ethan. It's always great to have you here, especially if you're trying to speak English more naturally and confidently. Today's episode is going to feel more like a real conversation between friends because we're focusing on storytelling.
Yes, and not just simple storytelling. Today, we're going to practice how to tell a story using mixed tenses: past simple, present perfect, and even present simple when needed.
Because in real life, when we tell stories, we don't think about grammar rules. We naturally switch between tenses, depending on what we want to say.
Exactly. And that's what we want you to learn today, to speak naturally, not perfectly.
Olivia, let me ask you something to start our conversation.
Sure, go ahead.
Can you remember a moment in your life when you felt really nervous at the beginning, but proud at the end?
Yes, I can actually remember one moment very clearly. It's something that has stayed in my mind for a long time because it changed the way I see myself when speaking English.
That sounds meaningful. Can you tell us the story in detail?
Of course. So this happened about a year ago. At that time, I had already been learning English for quite a while. I had studied grammar, I had practiced speaking by myself, and I had listened to many English conversations. So, in a way, I had prepared myself quite well.
So, technically, you were ready.
Yes, but emotionally, I wasn't ready at all. Even though I had learned a lot, I still felt very nervous when I thought about speaking English with other people.
That's something many learners experience.
Exactly. So one day, I found myself in a situation where I had to speak English. It wasn't planned, and I didn't have time to prepare. I met someone who didn't speak my language, so the only way to communicate was in English.
That must have been a challenging moment.
It really was. At that moment, I felt my heart beating very fast. I started thinking, what if I make mistakes? What if they don't understand me? I had so many doubts in my mind.
What did you do then?
At first, I almost decided not to speak. I was about to avoid the conversation. But then I remembered something important. I have learned so much, and if I don't try now, I might never improve.
That's a very important realization.
Yes. So I took a deep breath and I started speaking. My voice was a bit shaky at first, and my sentences were not perfect. I had to think carefully before choosing my words.
That's very natural in the beginning.
Yes, but something interesting happened. Even though I made mistakes, the other person listened patiently. They tried to understand me, and they responded kindly.
That must have helped you feel more comfortable.
Definitely. After a few minutes, I started to relax. I didn't feel as nervous as before. I began to speak more naturally, and I stopped worrying too much about mistakes.
How did you feel after the conversation ended?
Honestly, I felt really proud of myself. It wasn't a perfect conversation, but I had tried, and I had succeeded in communicating. Since that day, I have felt more confident speaking English.
That's a powerful transformation. Now, let me share a story as well.
I'd love to hear it.
A few months ago, I had an experience that was quite similar to yours. At that time, I had already practiced speaking English regularly, and I had improved quite a lot. However, I still felt nervous when speaking in real situations.
So even after practicing, the fear was still there?
Yes, exactly. Practice helped me improve my skills, but confidence was something I still needed to build. One day, I joined a discussion where everyone was speaking English. At first, I decided to just listen. I told myself, I will speak later when I feel ready.
That sounds like something many people do.
Yes, but after some time, I realized something. I had been waiting for the perfect moment, but that moment never came. So I decided to change my mindset.
What did you do?
I started speaking, even though I didn't feel ready. My first sentence was not smooth, and I made a few mistakes. But I continued speaking, and slowly, I became more confident.
That's amazing.
After the discussion, I realized that I had improved not because I was perfect, but because I had tried. Since that experience, I have changed the way I approach learning. I focus more on practice and less on fear.
That's a very valuable lesson. Now let's talk about the language we used in our stories.
Yes, this is very important.
When we talked about specific events in the past, we used past simple.
For example, I felt nervous. I started speaking. I made mistakes.
And when we talked about experiences or results that are still true now, we used present perfect.
Like, I have learned. I have improved. I have become more confident.
This is how real storytelling works.
You move between tenses naturally, depending on what you want to express.
Now let's create a longer example together.
Okay?
A few weeks ago, I joined an English conversation group. At first, I felt very nervous, and I didn't speak much. I was afraid of making mistakes and saying something wrong. However, after listening for a while, I decided to try. I started speaking slowly, and even though I made some mistakes, I continued. By the end of the session, I felt much more confident. Since then, I have joined the group several times, and I have improved a lot.
That's a perfect example of mixing tenses naturally. Now, let's talk directly to our listeners.
Yes,
You don't need to be perfect to tell a story.
you just need to start.
Use past simple to describe what happened.
Use present perfect to describe what you have learned.
Let's do a reflection together.
Think about a moment in your life,
Maybe something challenging.
or something you are proud of.
Try to tell that story in English.
Take your time,
Speak slowly.
and don't worry about mistakes.
Before we end, let's give one final piece of advice.
Your story is important,
Your experiences matter.
and every time you speak, you improve.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening and learning with us today.
We hope this episode helps you speak more naturally.
Keep practicing.
Keep telling your story.
And remember,
You have grown more than you think.
see you in the next episode of Speak Easy, Daily Conversations.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.